All right. Welcome, welcome. Our Rise Up training. It's the first Tuesday of the month, so we're excited that you all joined us tonight. I'm going to change the layout because I noticed on the recordings is kind of crazy watching the different people. So, all right. So tonight we are talking all things sponsoring. It's a really interesting topic because a lot of people are like, I don't know how to sponsor. And a lot of people are like, I don't sponsor. And a lot of people are like sponsoring gurus that just do it. And it just comes so naturally to them. I'm kind of in the middle. I don't feel like I'm an amazing sponsoring person, like as I get new people in my team, but I don't feel like I'm bad at it. And I don't feel like I'm a guru at it. So tonight, between me and Missy and the other directors in my group that jump on, I don't know who's all here. We're just going to be sharing a little bit about what we do and some of our favorite experiences in sponsoring and what they looked like and how the experience came about. And hopefully hearing some of those stories will spark some ideas for you to take and use in your business. So when I joined Scentsy, gosh, almost 15 years ago, my sister is my sponsor. So she is the one that came down to Texas from Idaho. That's where I was born and raised. And she did a launch party for me here. And there were so many people that fell in love with the products and they wanted to host their own parties. My sister was like, oh, I can come down and do them for you. And I was like, well, that's silly. I mean, I'd love for you to come down and visit, but I could just become a consultant and sell the products to them and be the consultant for their parties. So that's kind of where my story began and why I chose to join Scentsy, because I had friends that wanted to buy this stuff. And I was like, well, I could make a little bit of money. The goal was $100 so I could go to Target and buy whatever I wanted and not have to worry about answering to the mister about what I splurged on at Target. Because, you know, everybody's different phases of life. So your finances are a little tighter and sometimes it's not. So that's kind of where we were. So that's how I got started. And I didn't know the business. And maybe you're kind of in this position where you don't really know the business. You don't know what it looks like and why all this talk about getting a team and growing a team. What is the benefit of growing a team and what does that look like? And why would you want to do that? So you have to understand that our commission based on our sales, we can only make so much money. We can bump up to 30% if we do the 2,000, but it's capped. There's no way that we can do something more to get more commission based off our personal sales. But what is not capped is the commission that you get off of people that you sponsor. Okay. And that is where I quickly learned the benefit of growing a team is when I first started. I hit director a year after I had joined, which for some of you did it in like 2 or 3 months. Like there's so many different phases that it can be. Some people it takes a decade. It just depends, right? And then that's when I really realized the benefit of a team and how your commission can grow like crazy when you have a team. And then as I promoted to star director and superstar director, it just kept growing. And it even continues to grow as the days go by, because the more you sponsor, the more people you bring into your Scentsy family, the more you're going to make. And I don't sponsor so that I can make more money. I sponsor so that people's lives can be changed by this business, so that your life can be changed because of it. So when you think about why do I want to sponsor someone, think about what Scentsy has done for you, Maybe it's financial, maybe it's mental, maybe it's social. And then take that, and that is why you want to share the business with people, so that they can then have that same benefit in their life. They can feel empowered, they can feel a connection, they can have girlfriends, they can get out of the house because they're tied with toddlers all the time. There are so many different reasons why people need this. The point being is that you have to figure out what it is that people need, and you find a way to make Scentsy fill that need. Scentsy can fill the need for everybody and anybody in some way, shape, or form, but you have to know what their need is. You have to know what they're wanting in life, if you will. And then you're able to share why Scentsy would fit in to that. Why would Scentsy fit into your life? Well, because the products, they're so simple, and you are so good at just sharing things that you love on your social media, or just you're really connected in the community and you have a lot of friends that you know that would support you in this. So there's conversations that have to be had that can be kind of hard if you're not experienced in it, or if you're a little bit timid in that situation where you don't know how to share the opportunity. But it takes practice. The more you do it, the more you share the opportunity, the easier it becomes. I have one of my newest team members. She joined last month. She's been a customer for a decade, easy. And she recently subscribed to the Scentsy Club. And then she was talking to her sister, and she got her Scentsy Club order, and everybody was like drooling over everything. They were like, I want to try this, I want to try this, right? So then she was like, so tell me about the business opportunity, because we've talked about it before. And I was like, girl, you need to do it. You have family, you have friends, your circle of people, they probably haven't even been touched in the Scentsy world. And you have so much opportunity to connect with different people than I do. So she jumped on, and her Scentsy Club order went to her. So she already has a Scentsy Club member of her own, and is sharing the products with people, and is growing, and already has her 500 PRV that she needed for a shooting star. So sharing these things with your customers, look at your people that are in your Scentsy Club, and maybe just go down the list of those people and start there and say, who could use the extra money, or who could benefit? Like, you want even more of a discount? You can join for $20 this month, and you can get your Scentsy Club under you, and then you can get other people to do the same thing that you do. Some people solely do their business on Scentsy Club, and that's all they do. They get people to subscribe and be Scentsy Club members, and that's how they grow their business. So that would be a great place to start, looking at your Scentsy subscription members, your Scentsy Club members, and start with them. Another thing that I think is really, really important is for you to have a prospect list. So I have this, I'm not showing you my scribbles, but it's basically a piece of paper that I keep the names of the people that I want to join my Scentsy team. And these people will come from my list of 100. So if you have not done a list of 100 in the past year, I would recommend doing one. Print out the list of 100 from the workstation and write down those names. And then from there, work on, who do I want to join my Scentsy team? Who do I think would be a perfect match to join this company? And then you have to start having conversations with them. I think that it's oftentimes we get in this mindset that no one's gonna receive us well. And that is normal. For every no, I think it's, what do they say? Every 10 no's, you get one yes, or every 20. There's like a ratio that people have said. And it varies between every person, because some people could say every 5 people I ask, one person says they want to join. So you have to kind of take it and use it. And the thing is, you have to talk about it. daily in your life with your customers when they come over. Start with that. Did you know you could start and get your own discount? You can get a discount on your products if you join Scentsy, and it's only $20 this month, guys, right? Like $20, you spend $50, like you're gonna make that money back on your own. And that's where you have to start. Remember that, because that is where your business will start to grow and flourish. I talked about the ceiling income with your PRV. This side of the compensation plan, there is no limit to the income that you can make on this side of the compensation plan. It's you dream it, it's been done probably. So think about that. If you're really wanting to grow your business, you're really wanting to maybe quit your day job, maybe you're wanting to supplement education for your children, you're wanting to pay maybe to buy a new car, whatever it is, that's your driving force to get you to grow and share. So Missy, I'm gonna turn it to you. It looks like you're frozen though. Missy was gonna share. She's totally frozen. Does anybody else see that? Maybe she jumped off and is jumping back on. So I think that another thing that I am really, okay, she logged off, so we'll jump back on. One thing that I did last month with my group, and a lot of the SSDs in here did this as well. We did a Let's Freaking Sponsor challenge where we shared daily tidbits of action items that you could do to share the business opportunity. A lot of times people think, oh, people just share and share and share, like, join my team, come do Scentsy with me, right? Like, there's so much more to sharing on social media than that. Sharing your lifestyle pictures, sharing where you work, sharing the ease of the business. There's so many different things that you can share on social media that attract people, that people want to come and see what you're talking about because you are making it relatable to them. And when you're relatable, your people, your customers will be like, oh, that seems so easy. You make it simple that they could do it. That's what draws them to you. So you have to remember that as well. I think that a lot of times we feel like we don't want to share so much, but a lot of times that's what people are looking for. They want to see what it looks like to make samples. They want to see the behind the scenes of you melting the wax, putting the felt. They want to see that because then they're like, oh, that looks actually kind of fun. Like I would actually maybe enjoy doing that. Whereas maybe not sharing it, they don't see what the behind the scenes looks like. So they're not as apt to jump in and join, if you will. I think that a lot of times also we have to remember that our customers are following they are our bucket, if you will, of potential team members. That is where you would start. If you're feeling like, I don't know who I would ask, look back at the past 3 months and see who has bought from you every month, or see who has bought the most from you every month. And then take that and present the opportunity, $20 while supplies last, right? That little caveat. Start there. That would be a great place to start. Write down 10 names of your most loyal customers. And if you haven't shared the opportunity with them, share it with them. $20, you can join Scentsy and you get this, and then you get the commission off of the products that you buy. A lot of times they'll say things like, well, I just love coming to your house. It's so easy. You have everything on hand. I don't have to worry about ordering it, yada, 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 right? There's always excuses that people come up with, but you can excuse bust. That's the phrase that they use, that we use, people use. You can excuse bust that with, well, the perks that I get you can get the hostess benefits that I get from doing parties, from collecting people's orders. I get free stuff. And so that would be the perk for you, is that you will then get free and half price items by becoming a consultant and collecting orders from your friends and family. Your friends and family are like the first place of going to share Scentsy. And with new consultants in your team, that's where they start. And getting them to go along with you, to come along with you, is like the best thing. Because my sister's my sponsor. I have a sister-in-law that's my Scentsy sister. Friends from all over. That is where you start. Once you get outside of that circle of friends and family is when you will see massive things happen. Think of the connections that you have with maybe your kids' friends, or maybe some coworkers at work, or maybe some couples that you're friends with, or, I mean, there's so many things, right? Think about people that you connect with, and who would you want to share this with? Who would you want to do business with you? I want you to write down 5 names right now. Take a second, pull out a piece of computer paper, or you can put it in your phone. But I want you to write down 5 names. Think loyal customers, your VIP customers. Think of a cousin, maybe an in-law, maybe a cousin and a step cousin. I don't know. Think of your extended family and someone that's young. Think of someone that you know that maybe just graduated from high school. Who do you know that just graduated from high school? My niece is a senior and she started selling another product, and she just had her launch party last week and I went and participated in it. But I was like, why did I think about sharing Scentsy with her? Like, hello. So think of people, even your friends' kids, right? Because the way that social media is, I think that you have to really like think outside the box and think of other people. So did you think of 5 people? Did you write down 5 people's names? Give me a thumbs up if you did. If you did not, that's your job by the end of the hour, Brianna Katzenberger. You have to write down 5 names, okay? 5 names. Because these $20 kits are not going to last long. They're not almost sold out. Whoever is spreading those rumors is not right. But it's while supplies last. So you have to remember that. And last year, when we did this in May, I think it was around the 15th of the month, that is when they sold out. And I had like 3 customers that were potentially like on the fence about signing up that didn't get them. And so they were super bummed. So get them to act. That's the key. You have to get them to act and to get signed up, and then start helping them grow their business. So I hope that gave you a few tips and ideas. I would love to hear, I don't think Missy got back on. She was going to share because she is a rock star sponsor.
She's on.
I was on. I was trying to get on my phone, then came over
good.
here. But Lindsay, no, I'm not a rock star.
You are so good.
You know, I've been trying with this $20 join special, and I've posted, but I've texted a couple of people and nothing yet. But I've been telling the ladies that are on my team, and several of them got a couple of people that joined the other day, and I just told them, like, just share like what you love about it and you know why you joined. I know I've talked to a lot of people and they're like, oh, I really don't like to sell or, you know, have parties, because that's how I was. I joined with you, Lindsay. You had an event, a home and garden show, I believe, in San Antonio.
Yes.
And we were getting ready to build our home. And I always had candles everywhere and I'd forget to turn them off. And my husband's like, you're not buying a single candle when we build our house. So I just tell them how I started and why. And to tell you the truth, I've been in it already, what, 10 years?
Yeah.
And I never asked anybody to join in 10 years. I never asked anybody to host a party in 10 years. I think maybe a friend of mine did like a home party when I first got my kit. But it wasn't until last year or the year before when they had a $20 special or a $15 join where I got a couple ladies and I'm like, hey, $20, you're buying a warmer from me anyway, and if you don't like it, at least you bought a warmer and you got some extra goodies. And they're all doing really good. They're all doing really good. So I kind of try and share just when I'm doing stuff or even doing my laundry, showing the products, doing the wax samples. And, they know I'm in a small town. They know me, everybody knows, and I'm always busy with school. I was always busy with my kids in sports. They're all in college now. But everybody that has joined my team, except for a couple of people that joined that I don't know that are in other towns, are coworkers that work with me at school, family members. And everybody's like, oh, but there's already a lot of sponsors here. And I'm like, that's okay. I work with like 5 of them and we each have our own customers, So I just tell them to like, just be authentic, show. I really don't know how else to put it or to show them. So
That's awesome.
I don't know. I just post and talk and see how it goes.
That's the cool thing about this, guys. The authentic way that Missy shares, people are drawn to that. People are drawn to the simplicity of it, the connections that they have with her. And since she did that a year ago, she promoted to director. What month did you promote, Missy?
I don't know, but I was in queue for like for a long time.
I feel like it was September.
I think September, somewhere around there. I think it was when you also told me about like that I had gotten the incentive trip that I had even no idea that I was close to. Because I'm telling you, even now, I told one of my friends, when you got your joint kit, do you have your business supplies, your binders? Because I never went in it for the business. I was like, okay, I'm gonna join to buy Scentsy for my house. And I remember I was buying product and I think you offered to join and I was like, nah. And my husband's like, you're already spending like $100. You might as well join and get it. And that's how I did it. But I really never, to tell you the truth, looked at all the training. And that's why I never knew about the numbers and the business and stuff. So I'm kind of learning now, years later. But I love it. I love it and I share it and
that's the cool thing about the business is that if, like Missy talked about how she just bought it and then all of a sudden she started sharing and it was like the timing was right for her right now to be in the space that she's in. And so it took a little bit of courage and asking and sharing the opportunity for her to realize like, oh, this can be so much more. And the one thing that I always have loved when I see and hear this happen is when people are new in business and they get someone to join really quick, because then they can together grow up in Scentsy together, if you will. Angie Avalos, she'll always be Angie Avalos to me. Angie Labredo, she's one of my directors. And she was one of my first people that I sponsored. And we've grown up in business together. And so it's been really fun to just over the years share in all the crazy experiences that we have. So that's another thing, that if you're new and you're just starting, find someone, get your best friend, get your buddy from the school, get someone in your family or whoever, and be like, I just did this and I want you to do it with me so that we can share in these fun experiences together. Like Missy mentioned, the incentives that we have, the conventions that we go to, these fun training calls that we get on. That's the whole thing that is so cool about Scentsy, is that those relationships, those connections that you make, And you might have someone that you sponsor, like Missy. I didn't know her until we were at that home and garden show. And then we've been friends ever since. We don't talk every day, but when we talk, it's like we know exactly where each other stand and we're good. So getting someone to come and join the business alongside you will help you grow, um, personally, but also in the business, because you'll be helping them and they'll be helping you, and it just makes for a fun experience. So those 5 people that you wrote down, and those of you that didn't write it down, shame on you, write them down right now. 5 people. Your job is to contact them somehow. I don't know how you're going to do it. You might just drop in and be like, "Hey, I saw on Facebook that you had your dog is sick," or whatever, right? Go find out what's going on in their life if you haven't talked to them for a while, and start a conversation. Um, or if you've talked to them all the time, just be like, "Oh my gosh, I have to ask you. I want to do business with you, and I think that you would have so much fun. You already buy so much Scentsy from me. It'll help you save so much money. What do you think? 20 bucks? That's all it takes." So those 5 conversations, there's 105 of us on here, okay? If we all wrote down 5 names, that's 525 people, guys, okay? 525 people that we're gonna ask. Let's say half of them join our team. That'd be 262 people that join our business that didn't have that before. And think about the impact that it's made in your life and how it can make a difference in theirs. So that's what you really have to think about. Don't get caught in this, like, I just feel really awkward asking people to join my team. I'm not a good conversation starter when it comes to sharing the opportunity. Um, Yada, 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 right? We all have these like things that just let us sit here and just be stuck, if you will. Think about how this can help them. And when you think about that, that's when your mindset changes, and that's when change happens. And that's when you start to grow. Getting out of your comfort zone is where growth happens. We know this. And so when you have those 5 people that you've got your names on, that you wrote on your names on your paper, those conversations are going to be key. And guess what? It doesn't stop with those 5. The list is going to continue to grow, and it should continue to grow. Every day it should grow in some way, shape, or form. There's lots of things that you can do, right? You can make opportunity packets. You can have an opportunity night. The list goes on and on and on of the things you can do to help people come and join Scentsy. But the most important thing is just to simply ask.
And I'm sorry, Ginger, and I think that's just it. I think it's, can you hear me?
Yes, you're good.
Okay, I think it's that fear of like rejection, because I mean, I'm very vocal and I'm very like out there and I teach and everything, but I think it was just that fear, like, what if they told me no, and
Right.
stuff. So I never offered it. I never talked about it. I would just sell it and use it. And, it'd be in my classroom, like, oh, what's that? What's that smell? And that's how it started. But I think it's just that fear of asking. And as a matter of fact, yesterday I was going through my notebook, because I write everybody down every month that places an order. And I was trying to sell 10 whiff boxes. I think I texted like 20 people, like, hey, I'm gonna place an order. Do you need anything? And introducing that. And I think I got 3 right away. I swear I texted 15 to 20 people. 3 replied right away. I heard nothing. And then 3 more replied today. And then one's like, well, can you tell me what's in it? And stuff. So I think if we just put it out there and, if they don't reply or whatever, okay, I just mark it down. And then a month later or a couple of weeks later, I'll just check in with them again. But I think it's just hard putting yourself out there and, just saying like, okay, they're not even going to respond to my message or anything.
Yep, it is.
So,
It is hard. But the thing that is good it's good for us to do the hard things because that's where we grow. And that's where we can see where we really see a difference in our business is when you make yourself uncomfortable. Don't be scared. Don't be timid. Don't be shy. Just be natural. And if you are like, I don't even know how to talk to someone about it, you could use your director, you could use your sponsor, you could use your superstar director as a talking person and just be like, I want to practice. Okay, let's practice. How does this look? And you have a practice session with them. Let's do one right now. Who wants to be my guinea pig? I'm going to change the
I'll
view.
do it.
Who's that?
Roxanne.
Roxanne. Okay, I'm trying to find you because I want to put you on. Oh, there you are. You have your picture. Yay. Okay, I'm moving you up here and then I'm going to, oh, I gotta unpin myself. I don't know why my thing is not working very well. Okay, so Roxanne, you're gonna pretend like you're struggling to have a conversation with someone, okay? And I'm gonna be the person that you're gonna be talking to. And so we're gonna practice having a conversation, okay? So,
Okay, so I'm the consultant and you're the potential
correct.
consultant.
Yep.
Okay.
So maybe let's preface with this. You know that I have 3 kids that are super active in their sports, and we have a dog, and we live on a farm. We don't live on a farm, but we're just going to pretend. I actually do have kids, 3 kids and a dog, and they're all active in sports. So most of that is true. The farm is not true.
Okay, I'll try my best.
Okay,
Hey, Lindsay, how are you doing?
good. How are you?
I'm good. Just been busy lately.
Tell me about it.
So what's been going on with you?
Oh, nothing. We're in the middle of a paint project and kids are just busy with sports and school's almost coming to an end. Just ready for things to kind of wrap up and slow down a little bit.
I believe it. So tell me more about this paint project. What are you guys doing?
Oh, we're straight up painting the entire interior of our house. The doors, the baseboards, the crown molding, and all the walls and all the rooms except the kids' bedrooms and the theater room.
Oh my goodness.
So it really smells bad at my house. Like paint smells everywhere. And one of my kids is like, oh, I love the smell of paint. And I'm like, it makes me sick.
Yeah, until somebody's throwing up because it's too much already.
Right?
It sounds to me like you need some new wax in your house.
Oh,
and to open up these doors.
I probably do. Do you think it's strong enough to fume out the paint smells?
If I can cook bacon in my house and sit and burn leftovers on the stove and
Oh no, you're breaking up, Roxanne. I heard you making bacon on the stove. I couldn't hear the rest of it.
eliminate the odor of bacon burning on the stove, then you'll be just fine.
That's true. This is true. Yeah, so let's get together and we can get some wax.
And you know what? We have an amazing offer this month. If you wanted to join and get the bonus off of your own orders, you can join for $20.
$20. What do you get with the $20?
You get everything that you need to start your own business if you wanted, and all the essentials. So your mini warmer, your wax, which you're already going to be looking into getting, and you'll have everything ready to go.
So then what does it look like? Like, what does that look like? If I were to spend $20 and get a kit, what is that? What is that like?
Okay, so this is where I get hung up.
Oh.
It's the details, and like I think this is where we were talking about like the rejection feeling comes in,
Yeah.
because then you have to be prepared of like, either they're going to say no. And for me, like combating, like busting myths is so easy
Yeah.
because they're like one liners, right? But when it comes to like painting the picture of how it's going to fit into their lifestyle, which might be different, right? Because if you paint them a picture that's completely doesn't match with their lifestyle, they're like, no, that's not for me, right? And
Right.
then you lose your opportunity. So you have to, like you said about the 3 kids being busy, I probably could have, instead of just shooting out the joint offer, I should have tied it into you being busy first. Now that I thought about it, like, hey, I know you're super busy, you're always on the go. It would be really nice to be able to just get your own refills, put in your order whenever you have the time without having to go through anybody.
Yeah.
And
That's
next
a
month we
great
have the perfect opportunity for a $20 kit, you know, like
Yeah.
instead of just kind of blind throwing it out there.
Right. That's a really good idea. Another idea that I just thought of was how I talked about how my kids are busy in sports, is talking about fundraising. Do your kids do fundraising through their sports? Yeah, they do fundraising. Well, did you know that Scentsy offers fundraisers, and you could be the consultant that they all order from, and you give your commission to them? Because maybe I don't need to make money. Maybe I am totally content and fine with that. But if I'm willing,
And I'm glad that I said yes, because I was like, okay, I got this. It's gonna be good. But once the conversation starts, my nerves started kicking in.
yeah.
Then
Oh no, we lost you again.
you told me about your kids and being busy and all this just went right out the window.
That's good. That's the thing. Like, for the most part, people like to talk about themselves. Let's be real. Like, you can ask a question, and most of the time people are going to be able to easily share whatever it is. So having that one-on-one conversation where I'm talking about my kids, like, there were lots of little things that I said that you could have been like, oh, I could ask her about this, or I could ask her about, she has a dog. Oh, did you know we have a pet line, right? Like, it kind of all kind of goes in and around all the normal things that everybody has in their life, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Hey, Melanie, you were gonna make a comment. Unmute yourself, sister.
Hey, really quick. One of my favorite things to do when I'm talking to a customer about joining, or if I'm doing like a voice text, one thing that I'll kind of do, it's kind of a mind trick, but I'll say, hey, do you know anybody who's been thinking about, starting up a side gig, or, anybody that you know that might want to do this, and kind of like give clues of like what type of people I'm looking for, but nonchalantly pointing it to them, because then eventually they're like, well, wait, I could do this. So I'll say things like, do you know anybody who just really likes Scentsy and just doesn't want to spend that much money as much as they've been spending? Or, could you send anybody my way or refer somebody my way? Usually they will find somebody, but they'll also be thinking too, like, I could totally do that. And just kind of making it kind of fun and easygoing and breezy, because they can really do whatever they want with this business. That's up to them. But if I put it in their head to think of people who would want to do this and give them the ideas, then it kind of grows in their head that they could actually do it. So I just want to add that.
Yes, I love that. I think that is huge. A lot of people do that and they find success in that. Okay, Kano, you're unmuted.
Okay, so I wanted to share that in my parties, I've been doing a lot of Facebook parties lately, and I will do a blank check and I'll write the hostess's name and the amount that they could earn, and I post it there. I always have a conversation with my hostess, but the reason I do that is so that everyone else can see, wow, this party was 30 minutes or 2 days or whatever, and I could have earned $50. And that's been successful in having more conversations.
I love that. I think that is huge, because you have at your fingertips a pretty good amount of people, and to share Sally just had $1,000 party. She would have made $250. This is what her commission would have been. That's pretty cool to see as a customer. And then turning that to your hostess and being like, hey, we can flip your party, right? That's a whole nother training in and of itself. So I hope that this gave you some ideas and some thoughts around getting out of your comfort zone and realizing that there's more to it than just simply asking when it comes to the actual conversation. Yes, the asking is the most important thing, but you have to listen to key things when you're in a conversation with people to be able to say, oh, hey, oh, there's Avery saying hi. Knowing what they are going through or what's in their life that Scentsy could fit in easily. And that's what is the most important. I think that you have to understand that in order to be able to share that. So those 5 people that you wrote their names down, it's Tuesday. By Sunday, you need to have contacted every single one of them. Have a conversation, call them, shoot the breeze, whatever. But you need to share the opportunity with them, the $20 kit, and maybe they'll even go for the $99 kit, but you need to share the opportunity, okay? This is you getting out of your comfort zone and sharing and pushing yourself so that you can grow your business, that level that doesn't have a ceiling of possibility of capping at any level. It just continues to grow and grow. So I'm going to end the recording here unless anybody has a tip that they want to share with everybody.